Let's kick off Empathy Jam 2024. First, we arrived at Porter Shed in Galway at 9 am. We then had time to meet our team members, discover the workstation, of our coffee and some snacks. After that, we were given the instruction of the day, the schedule, information on how we will conduct our research and develop our solution. The theme of this year was Galway for All. To get us started on this subject in our research, we had the privilege of attending 2 presentations by professionals on our perception and our user research. The watchword was empathy for today. We have to question ourselves and listen in order to represent and understand users' needs and problems. Then we got to do our first brainstorming and research on the problem. We directly decided to focus on the welcoming aspect of the city of Galway. As we were all visiting students, we all related that at first it was hard for us to feel welcome or be integrated as Irish people. We were thinking that we were lacking sometimes of information to find our way around in the city, on housing, on bus stops or bus schedules, and we wanted also a bit more to know unwritten Irish rules, events that we don't know about, etc. But after discussion with some coaches, we realized that we were biased on this topic. We had our own hypotheses and we were trying at first to confirm them with our user research. With this approach, we might not focus on the problems of other users and assume that everyone has the same problems as we do. So to reduce this problem, we decided to broaden our personas. We thought that these problems could also concern Irish people themselves, people from Galway, tourists, workers, and so on. With that in mind, we started our user research by designing 2 scenarios of the interview, one for foreigners in Galway and the other one for local Irish people. At this stage, we made sure to include all genders and ages as we wanted our research to be very broad. Some questions we asked would include how important is it for you to be integrated into the Irish community, describe an encounter you had with the visitors and how did it make you feel, and what were your first days in Galway like. We made sure to leave our questions open-ended so we could hear the whole stories of the respondents and get the why of the problem. After developing our questions, we went in the street of Galway to find our respondents. We did manage to find plenty of respondents, both Irish and international, across all genders and ages. Also wanted to either confirm or deny our assumptions that Irish people appreciate foreigner visitors in general and that visitors care about blending in with the local Irish community. Okay, so we had the University of Galway trying to find some visitor students, but also locals. What we've learned during our interviews is that the Irish are very welcoming toward visitors and very eager to help, and the visitors consider it very important to be a part of the local community, but sometimes they just have problems finding the means to do so, finding events, finding the bridge to reach local people. So in general, the key takeaway is that both international and Irish people would like to be brought together and that they care about each other. After this long morning, we needed some energy to keep going with the prototyping. In this second part of the day, we first listened carefully to what the guest speakers had to say about the prototyping process and appropriate tools to use. We learned a lot about key elements we should address with our solution, such as feasibility, viability, and desirability. Then we discussed again on our user research results to agree on a common problem, the information gap for visitors on events or social cultural events that only local people would know about. If this gap is closed, it could help local people and foreigners to meet at the same events and mingle more. We came up with about 10 ideas, and after consulting with mentors, we narrowed our selection down to 4. The first was interactive kiosks with latest information on events happening in Galway and its surroundings. The second one was a buddy program focusing on matching incoming international students with local Irish students to ensure cultural exchange. The third one was a YouTube channel providing a reference point on information for visitors of videos made by Irish locals with tips and suggestions. The last one was a widget paired with an app. The user could have an updated event calendar in its own, and the app would enable the update of events and communication or chat between people. We then started to prototype very briefly the different ideas. At this stage, we had low-fidelity paper prototypes, and we thought about using props such as our own widget calendars on our phone to start ask the users for feedback. For this, we went again in the streets of Galway to ask potential users, which are more college age, Irish, and international. We asked our respondents on their thoughts, what they would change or not, their preferred solution, and why or if they were likely to use one of the solutions. The results were pretty similar amongst all respondents. They liked the kiosk idea and the widget the most. They really liked the personalization options, the easy access of information, benefiting everyone. The PUDI program was less liked because it has to be incentivized for local people and the YouTube videos might be too long. After that, we designed our final solution. It would be a kiosk found in strategic points in the city where people can have information on events of different types each day. They could also scan a QR code to access a website where they can choose their preferences of events before downloading a widget of the events in their phone calendar. We prepared then the presentation of our work to present our solution to the jury. We tried to showcase the entire process of our day and what we've learned. Our solutions would, of course, need a bit more research, and it maybe lacks a viewpoint of event organizers.
So, hi everyone, we present to you Event Hub. So what exactly is Event Hub? Event Hub are information kiosks. These are interactive screens that are set up throughout the city, so people can go up to these screens, interact with them, and see what is happening on that particular day in Galway.
So our learnings from the process of this day was to be careful on biases, listen to the user and the stories, try to get a broad overview on problems and needs. For the first prototypes also, we have to draw very simple sketches, and even if an idea seems to be crazy, still ask the user for feedback.
So basically, if you mix kiosks with widgets, you get the Event Hub. And that is our idea.